What up YouTube, it's Misery's Company. In this video, I want to talk about the very best legendary gems for free to play, for the casual player, as well as anyone who is coming to the game for the first time right now, because we do have some new players coming back to the game, as well as the returners, or anyone that is maybe basically not a whale. I'm going to make an argument that is going to be very different than a lot of the other best legendary gem videos that are out there. And I'm not necessarily saying I disagree with other people. I'm just saying that there is a science behind the method I'm getting ready to show you. And let's get straight to it. Okay, so first things first, I do want to clarify this best of legendary gems video will include a 1-star gem, a 2-star gem, maybe 2, and the rest are 5-star. And that's right, this is still for free to play because in my opinion, there are several ways for free to play to eventually get 5-star gems. Obviously, if you're free to play, you should be using whatever gems you have, and you should work towards the rest of the gems on this list with some of the methods that we'll talk about later on in this video. So first things first, it is our one and only 1-star gem on this list that I think literally everyone should use, including whales, for a while. And that is going to be none other than the Berserker's Eye. Berserker's Eye is a phenomenal 1-star gem. It gives you just flat damage increase. 16% at rank 10, increases your critical hit chance by 2%, but also increases damage you take by 5%. Increases chance to find, magic find by 5%, which is very, very low if you're not aware. But this is a phenomenal gem. It gives you 44 combat rating at 160, a max increase resonance. Well, not max, I take that back. There's actually more resonance to be had when you go through and attach the gems once you get to rank 10, but that's a video for another time. But this gem is truly phenomenal. The flat 16% damage is just, you cannot compare it to the amount of resonance that you would get with a 2 or even 5-star gem for the basic free-to-play player. Reason being is that it's going to take you such a long time to be able to get to that 16% damage with other gems that you can just get it so easily, basically for free with this gem. So the second gem I want to talk about on this list is a 2-star gem. Now, I'm going to advocate that this gem in particular, which is none other than the Bloody Reach, is only mandatory for those classes that are ranged. So it's for me, my necromancers, it's going to be for the wizards, it's going to be for the demon hunters. Everyone else you can just pass. Reason being is that increases all damage you deal, again, just flat damage percent for every 2 yards between you and the enemy hit, up to a maximum of 16.8% at 8 yards. Again, I only have it at level 7. It goes up incrementally. I want to say maybe max is 20%. I could be wrong there. I don't know because I don't have it there yet. But again, this is a. It also has a. In addition, your attacks have a 0.9% chance to decrease enemy movement speed by 35% for 3 seconds, which is, I mean, it's there. Maybe okay for PvP, not amazing, less than a 1% chance. That's not why you're using this. You're using it for the flat damage percent. Now, moving on, I do want to go ahead and say that, like I said, this is only for our ranged classes. Now, if you're not a ranged class, there is a couple other gems that I would recommend in place of it. First one I'm going to recommend, and again, this is for our free-to-play players, is going to be the Fervent Fang. This is a 2-star gem that you get only from the Battle Pass. So it is something that you will progress over time. You cannot buy this for platinum on the market. You cannot buy this at all. This is truly just available in the Battle Pass. I believe you get at least 1 for free in the Battle Pass, and if you get the paid version of the Battle Pass, you get 2. 1 at the beginning and 1 at the end. So over time, you can definitely progress it. It will take you a long time, several months of Battle Passes, but it is possible to max out, which again is a free-to-play. You'll be getting it with enough time to max out your other, or work on your other gems, and then passively work on this one as well. But this one does, each time you deal damage to an enemy, the enemy now takes 0.80% increased damage from your attacks, up to a maximum increase of 8% at 10 stacks. Again, this is at level 1. So you attacking the same target over and over and over and over and over again will then in turn give you more damage on that target. Now, as a free-to-play player, you're obviously going to be doing a lot of PvEing because you're not going to be doing too much PvP because you're really not going to be able to hold your own unless you're like a CC bot or just a CC machine. Now, this could be good for PvP because, again, every time you hit the same target, you're going to be doing more and more damage to it, but you're probably never going to get to the 10 stacks because, generally speaking, the PvP fights, at least at low resonance levels, are relatively squishy, so you're just going to get blown up and vice versa until you get to those later end fights where people have more resonance, they have more life, they have more armor, they have more damage, so the fights take a little bit longer, there's a little bit more skill involved, but that's, again, a video for a different time. Now, let's say you don't want to use either of those 2 gems. I'm going to make a somewhat of a recommendation. This is a much lower tier gem, but the Cursling gem is brand new. It is a rank, this one is rank 1. It is a 2-star legendary gem, and what it does is you have a 50% chance when attacked to release a burst of light that blinds all nearby enemies, reducing their vision and causing total loss of control for 1.3 seconds. Cannot occur more than often than once every 20 seconds. Now, you do get an additional damage, I feel like, right? Doesn't it? Nope, that's the wrong one. Blind duration increased. I thought it actually increased the damage you do. Maybe not. Oh no, just blind duration increased. Yeah, so I mean, it is okay. It's not one that I would, definitely recommend for a lot of people, but I would definitely recommend the previous two between Vibrant Fang and then, of course, Bloody Reach, which, as you can see, I'm even using Bloody Reach. Currently, I'm on my Barbarian, which means I'm getting close to 0 worth out of it, but at the long term, I will be maining either a Wizard or a Demon Hunter. Don't know which one I'm going to be doing yet. Let me know in the comments which one you think I should be maining, because right now I'm just making build videos for all of the classes, so at least I have that base foundation for anyone that needs them. But again, my main will be a ranged class, because that's just the type of class I like to play. Now moving on to our 5-star gems. So the first 5-star gem, I think that if most people could agree this is the best 5-star gem by far. You can also prove this by looking at the market, because it's so expensive, and that's going to be Bloody Reach. Bloody Reach is a phenomenal gem. Increases all damage you deal up to 10.5% while at full life, with a minimum bonus of 5.25. While at low life, increase your movement speed by 10%. Damage and movement speed are the two most important stats in this game, and you get both of them off this one gem, which means it's a massive W. Bloody Reach is a very, very, very expensive gem, so I would definitely try your luck with Legendary Crest eventually, or save your Platinum and get it, but it is incredibly expensive. Look on my server, there's only 2 available. They are 3 stars, but look at the price. That is a stupid, and these are, you can see people are buying them out as soon as they come available, because these aren't even available yet, and they're probably going to disappear literally the second they come up. I mean, yeah, it's just I don't look forward to having to level up my Bloody Reach, but again, as a free-to-play player, I recommend at least getting it and then casually working on your rest of your gems and then working on this one later, because this one is definitely worth getting that at least base foundation for the flat damage percent. The third gem we're going to be looking at is Seeping Bile. Seeping Bile is another 5-star gem. Again, as a free-to-play player, just get the 2 out of 5 stars. Light Spender, whatever you want to call them, or whales, obviously go for whatever ones you want, because you're paying to get this. I got incredibly lucky, and I mean incredibly lucky, and I got this one completely free drop, 4 to 5-star gems, leveled it up to level 3, and then, oh my gosh, this gem is phenomenal. So what it does is your attacks have a 4% chance to poison enemies, inflicting 30% base damage plus 263 every second for 6 seconds, and decreasing movement speed by 6%. This poison spreads to nearby enemies if the victim dies. Cannot affect the same target more often than once every 20 seconds. So this is so good for farming, for challenge rifts, for dungeons. It is used all the time. Again, there's a percent chance of it happening, but it is so good. And you can definitely tell it does a ton of damage as it just ticks, and then people eventually die, and then it spreads. Super good legendary gem. So now we are moving on to number 5. Now this one is, again, another legendary gem, and like I said at the beginning of the video, I know this is for free to play, and I'm naming a lot of 5-star legendary gems, but this is what your goal should be to get to, not necessarily what you should be focusing on right now as you're at the beginning part of your game. Just as you grind platinum, which again, I will show you tips at the end of this video on how to do it. As you can see, I'm at 30k resonance, yeah, right, 30k platinum, and I already bought a 3 to 5-star legendary gem already, literally about a week ago. So it is not hard to get platinum these days, but again, we'll talk about that at the end of the video. The next gem is one that let's see, how do I put this? All of these gems I am suggesting are future proof. And what I mean by that is they're not tied to a specific class. There are better gems for certain classes, but these 6 gems are good for any class. And the reason I'm saying that is we don't know what the future lies for Diablo Immortal. And if or when we get new classes, I want you to be able to still reference this video and be able to say, like, you didn't waste your time, your resonance, your platinum, your resources, whatever you're doing to get your legendary gems, you did not waste them. And these are future proof, meaning that they're not tied to a specific class. You don't have to have a specific move to use them. They just do damage or make you stronger. That's what the overall goal is of these 6 gems, which is why the next one I'm going to recommend is Echoing Shade. Echoing Shade is Another pretty expensive gem on most markets from what I have seen, but what it does is your attacks have a 15% chance to summon a shadow clone for 8 seconds that attacks nearby enemies with one of your primary attacks. Increase, okay, obviously the magic fine. And then once you get to rank 3, you can now have up to 2 shadow clones at one time. This is just added passive damage that you don't have to do anything for. You just have a percent chance of it summoning, and then for 8 seconds it does one of your primary attacks. So, which is really, really good, again, as like a demon hunter in particular, but anyone can benefit from this, especially like a monk or literally anyone, like a wizard as well. That's why this is very much a future-proof legendary gem. Even if better ones come out later on, you're still not losing damage because you're doing damage, if that makes sense. And you don't have to have like a dash attack or a buff like a bottling hope, where you have to have, when you use a skill that grants a buff. Well, what if your new class doesn't grant a buff? And now you can't use this legendary gem at all, and you wasted all that time and resources to get this legendary gem at a point where it could be viable, where you could have had a gem that is guaranteed, regardless of what class you're using, to do the same amount of damage for you. That's the logic behind this video and all these legendary gems. Now, the sixth spot, but it has 2 different options for you, and this one's up to your choice. There's 2 gems I'm going to recommend. Both, in my opinion, are very, very underrated, and they are 2 5-star gems. The first one I'm going to recommend, because you can get them for a pretty decent price in most markets, is actually Zwinston's Haunting. Reason being, it is, like I said, pretty cheap, 40k, and again, this is 3-star. It is a 3-star legendary gem for 40k. You can't beat that. Like, if I could get, if in the next hour I can move over platinum for my alts, I actually might try to get this. Stay tuned for my future videos, and I'll also show you guys if I end up getting this or not. I'm gonna go ahead and heart that, because that is a steal right there. But what it does is, when you defeat an enemy, a dark beast attacks nearby enemies, dealing 50% base damage plus 486. Cannot occur more often than once every 6 seconds. So basically, you defeat an enemy. Does not matter how you kill it or a percent of enemies killed. Just when you kill an enemy, a dark beast attacks nearby enemies, dealing 50% base damage plus 486 damage. Cannot occur more often than once every 6 seconds. 6 seconds is a very low cooldown. Now, again, you do have to kill an enemy for it to happen, but let's look at raids or even PvP. If you kill someone, then you have the ability of getting this automatically and causing more damage. This is a severely underrated gem, in my opinion, and one that I would definitely recommend, obviously, for a future-proof build like the one I'm giving you right now. Now, I did say that there was another option for this build, and that is going to be Hellfire Fragment. It is one of the newer gems, slightly more expensive than Zwinston's Haunting, but a decent option nonetheless, because you can do a ton of damage with it for a little to no, I guess, reason of like focusing on it. Like, you don't have to do anything for it to do it. You just have to use your abilities. So what the gem does is, using a skill, conjures 3 hellfire blazes around you to seek out enemies within 6 yards, exploding on them, dealing 45% base damage plus 510 additional damage to all nearby enemies. Cannot occur more often than once every 20 seconds. That's why this is a second choice. It is easier to use. You don't have to kill anything, but it is once every 20 seconds. Now, damage is increased, unlocked at level 2. Damage is increased to 54% of base damage. And I want to say, when you broke it down on, is it on the one I have? Is that where I saw this? Yeah, so at rank 3, enemies struck by multiple Hellfire Blazes take 12.5% additional damage from subsequent hits. So obviously, the more people you're hitting with a single target, with all 3, you're doing more multiplicative percent damage to them, which is just more damage. When I am running through as a barbarian, just using sprint, I'm hitting 20k on these, like with these, as I'm just not even hitting the same person. It just goes and does damage, and then when I get to whatever ad I'm trying to farm, it just pops out whenever it wants to. Very, very good gem. So as you can see, I'm gonna be using this method for my own account. I have the Berserker's Eye, I have the Bloody Reach, which again, I know it's not being useful right now, but long term I will be switching back to a ranged class. And then I have the Bloody Bloodsoaked Jade. I got very, very lucky with the Seeping Bile. And then I am going the route of the Hellfire Fragment. But my last one right here, the Trickshot Gem, I will be using very likely that Zwinston's Haunting that we just saw, or if I can get my hand on an Echoing Shade, I will grab that instead. I do already have the an additional Hellfire Fragment at level 3 right here that I could substitute for the 2-star one as I upgrade it to level 3. I'm still going back and forth on that. I don't know if I want to sell this on the market or not, but it is a viable option. But I really do see a lot of value in that Echoing Shade, so I'm going back and forth because, again, I gave you them in order. So Echoing Shade is ranked the 5th slot, and that 6th slot is Winston's Haunting or Hellfire Fragment. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. I'm very curious how you feel about this. This is very much a hot take. I have not seen a single YouTuber mention this specific build as of yet, or given the reasons for more of a long-term approach to your build. Because personally, like, you could, sure, as a free-to-play player, you could focus on more of these 2-star gems or the 1-star gems, which will give you short to medium term more resonance, more damage, but long term you're gonna end up still getting rid of those at a certain point. So why not use whatever you have and then work towards these gems as you can with either platinum or with where are they at with these things, right? So after what, 40 weeks, and without having any special events, you can get, if you get 40 of these, you can then guarantee yourself a 5-star legendary gem, and you can pick from one on this list. Obviously, prioritize the ones that are more expensive, such as Bloody Reach, or the Blood-Soaked Jade, or the Seeping Bile. Those are very, very expensive gems on most markets. But the platinum, I have made a video about already on how to go ahead and grind platinum on ults. You can also get platinum for fairly easy just by playing the game. I sell mine. Actually, if we go to the, I'm sure I have some that are already sold. If I go over here, yeah, there you go. Boom. This is free platinum. You get 300 platinum every single day just for doing your dailies for that 3rd chest that you get at the very end. And then these are, you get up to 12 a day, 6 for playing in a party, and then an additional 6 if you go into a hidden layer. This is a, that's 3 times 12, mathing, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, or 3K. I lost count. Oh my gosh. Where's the calculator? Calculator. So let's do 12 times roughly 300 is basically the average we're going with for these basic gems. That's 3,600 a day if you do that grinding, which is a ton of platinum. So obviously Blizzard's going to get their transaction fee. Taxes, even in video games, it's rough. But as you can see, you can sell then your legendary 1-star gems to your alts and then get that platinum moved over to your main account. So it is very easy. Like I said, I bought this one for just over 30 something K platinum, and which was a steal, which is why I bought it. And I already in less than a week have another 30K platinum. So it's very, very easy to get platinum, which, so even as a free to play, you can do it too. I'm doing it. I've given you examples. I will show you a video. Where is it at? Over there, that will show you how to get platinum very, very easily. So click on that video right now.
What's up? How you been? Look at it.